Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming here today. Hi, let's start the introduction of Mercari for this session. I can see like many people already started to introduce yourself. Thank you so much. We also have some people writing in Japanese. Welcome to everybody here for this Mercari introduction for or internship, especially for global students. Okay, I'm just gonna wait for 1 minute more before starting so I can make sure everybody is here. Okay, if you're already here, feel free to put a comment and introduce yourself with like where you come from, how you're doing, what have you been doing today. Anything is fine. Feel free to put some comments. Okay. Okay, so it's 6:01 here in Japan. So I'm going to start the introduction of our Mercari group, and I'm going to mention from regarding our internship opportunity here in Japan. Okay, great. So hi everybody. Hi from India. We have people from India, from Canada, from Togo. Wow, it's very rare to see people from Togo in our session. Yeah, greeting everybody. And thank you. Okay, I'm gonna start. So I'm gonna start also by a little introduction about myself. So my name is Vicky. My real name is Victoria, but please call me Vicky. Here in Mercari, we use a lot of our nickname for our Slack name. I'm originally from France. I joined Mercari in 2021. I'm a part of the new grads talent acquisition team. My current coverage is engineering hiring and global hiring. Okay, so today we're talking about our agenda. So this is going to be first, we're going to have a company overview. We are going to talk about Mercari Group businesses, current opening, and our culture, which is very important for us. And then I'm going to let 30 minutes for a Q&A session. So we have received a lot of questions from you guys. But you can also, put your question on the comment box if you have during that time. And I will be very happy to answer them during the 30-minute Q&A session. Okay, so here is our company overview. So Mercari is actually just not only one company, but it is also a group with several small companies inside. So our Mercari group is composed of our Japan region. Within the Japan region, we have the marketplace, which is including Mercari, our main business. We also have the fintech side, which is including Merpay, Mercoin, and on the aside, we have Mercari in the US, so Mercari Inc. US, Kashima Antlers, which is one of our sports business, and Mercari Software Technologies, which is our company in India, which is mostly a development center of excellence. But I'm going to talk a little bit more with details about all of this very soon. Okay, so Mercari Group was established on February 1st of 2013. We have office in Tokyo, Fukuoka, Osaka, Palo Alto, and Bangalore. We have more than 2,080 employees here working for us all around those offices. So I'm going to talk first about our main business, which is Marketplace. So Marketplace is our main app, Mercari. So what is Mercari? So Mercari is a C2C marketplace where everybody can buy and sell used item. So we want to provide both buyers and sellers with a service where they can enjoy safe and secure transactions. So Mercari does offer a very unique customer experience with a transaction environment that uses escrow system, where Mercari temporarily holds the payment and make things simple and affordable when it comes to the shipping options. So for example, I want to sell my iPhone that I've been using for a couple of years. And what I just need to do is take a picture of the item, set up a price, set up a description, and then upload it on our marketplace app. If there is any interested buyers, the person can just buy the item. Then I will just need to ship the item, especially in Japan. It will be need to the nearest convenience store where you can ship any items to Mercari. And then once I ship the item, the buyer receive the item, check the statement of the item if everything is, same as the picture. And then they will just need to give me a rating on out of like 1 to 5 stars. Once the buyer receive the item, give me the rating, then the transaction is done, and I'm able to receive the money. So as it says here on the image, so many sellers enjoy having the item they no longer need purchased and used by buyers who needs them. Buyers enjoy the feeling of hunting for a treasure, like they search through unique and diverse item for lucky find. So it's like yeah, as it says, it's like kind of like lucky find. Like there is so many kind of item in our marketplace. For example, like electronics, books, clothes, like vintage luxury items as well. So it's kind of like a treasure hunt for people who are using the app. So the service was launched in July 2013. Its operating system on Android and iOS. It is free to use. In Japan, the language is mostly used in Japanese. And we have like a total number of listings up to date, which is more than 3 billion listers in Japan. So here you can see the graph of our marketplace monthly active users. So for like 2024 June, which is the Q4 for us, we have more than 22.9 million active users, which is a growth of plus 2% compared with last year. I'm going to talk about Mercari Shops. So Mercari Shops is B2C like marketplace that is integrated into our Mercari app, which allows little business to sell and make money from their own like handmade things. Or in Japan, for example, we have a lot of like little shops of vegetables, fruits, vegetables, and they use the app to sell their products. So it's an e-commerce platform, and they can just, very easily establish their own online business. The platform was fully launched in October 2021. So here is the strength of Mercari Shops. So there is no monthly or entry fees for those little business. Mercari will just take 10% of the item with no fixed cost, and it's very easy for everybody to get started. It helps the businesses to have like a tailored, it features like tailored features to businesses. And because we have 22.9 monthly active users, it gives a lot of opportunities for little businesses to have their small business known, and have like active buyers. And actually, like a lot of people, the kind of like demographics that use or Mercari Shops are a lot of like women and young people, which is very a demographic that is very different compared to any other like B2C marketplace in Japan, where like most of the user will be a little bit more older customers. For our fintech side, so we have Merpay. So Merpay is a mobile payment system that is integrated inside our Mercari app. So it is a cashless payment system where users of Mercari, so for example, sellers on Mercari who make money on the app, can use their sales balance and fund in any kind of shops that supports Merpay payment system. So Merpay payment system has like a smart payment. So for example, like QR code payments, touchless payment system as well, and like a scan code payment system. So for example, as I said earlier, in as an example, like I sell an iPhone, I get money from this iPhone, then I can whether send this money to my bank account or just use this as a cashless payment system to like restaurants or supermarket or anywhere, any other physical businesses that use the Mercari payment system. So Mercari focuses on three areas. So first is payment, second is credit, and also asset management. So when it comes to the payment, as I said, in Japan, we use a cashless payment system called ID. So it's just like a touch payment system. We also have the code payment. We also last year launched a credit card, like a physical credit card, and a virtual card. We also have, when it comes to the credit area, focusing area, we have the Mercari smart payments. So we allow our customers to use like lump sum payment, fixed amount payment, where they can take like some loans where they can reimburse with a fixed amount payment as well. And asset management, we actually recently um, released the Bitcoin trading that is now available on Mercari Marketplace app. So it allows our users to apply on trading Bitcoin for 30 seconds as very quickly, um, and um, and use our Bitcoin services. This is the business called Mercari Hallo is actually a very recent business that we launched this year. So Mercari Hallo is an on-demand work service. So for example, it is a way where a lot of students or people who have like some spare time can apply for on-demand jobs. So it's very quick and easy. So basically, people who register on Mercari usually provide some of their personal information, for example, like ID check and everything. So with this information that we already have, they can apply very easily to some little part-time job. So for example, we have some customers such as a drugstore or like convenience store or restaurants, pizza place, who are in demand of very short time labor. So for example, 1 or 2 hours, 3 hours work time. So whenever like students have like just some spare time and they want to make some money, they can just apply very easily to those job posting with the personal information that they already gave whenever they entered they registered to our Mercari Marketplace app. They don't need to send any resume, and if their profile is you know how can I say, chosen, they can very like start to work very easily on the same day for a few hours. So service concept is, as I said, for anyone. So it's very easy for everybody to find a very like quick part-time job from Mercari. Because it's used also for 23 million people of all age and gender. It is very quick. So as I said, also like customer can apply to Mercari Hallo by using their own information with no need to submit any resume or undergo any interview. And discover also very easily some same as actually shopping on the app, but just applying for a job that fits their schedule. I'm going to discuss a bit about our values. So, because Mercari, we are a company that care a lot about our values. So, there are three big values in Mercari, which one is go bold, the second one is all for one, and be a pro. When it's come to go bold, so going bold for us means that taking new challenge is not always successful, but going bold for us is like taking new challenge and also learn when that challenge was not successful and learn from the failure, or also learn from going bold and being successful as well. So when me in short, like we really encourage our employee to take on like new bold challenge and step out from their comfort zone. And for Alpha One is related to teamwork. So we work a lot as a team, and we, in our opinion, like we think that nobody can achieve like very big mission by only themselves. We think that most of the big missions can be, successful as a team. So we take a lot of like importance to the teamwork here at Mercari. And the last one is be a pro. So we are requesting all members to take ownership of their own work as a professional in their field. So, for example, as an engineer or me as an HR, and then learn every day and commit to showing results. So, for us, being a pro is to learn, keep learning, and also commit to showing the result as a pro. Mercury also do care a lot about inclusion and diversity. So we have been tackling a lot of challenges, especially to have a more diverse company, because obviously we are a Japanese company in Japan. There, most of the people are Japanese, but we are also, we work with a very diverse team from all around the world. So we have a total of 2,101 members who work toward the shared mission. And we have like, especially on the engineer side, we have like engineers from more than 50 countries worldwide. So I myself, I'm not Japanese, I'm from France. On the HR side, we have like a lot of people from the UK, or engineering side, people from Indonesia, from India, from the US, from a very like various background as well. And the percentage of employees of foreign nationality. So, for example, overall, as a company overall, it is 25.7%. On a management position, 25.7% as well. But on the engineer side, half of our engineers are non-Japanese people. So yeah, it is a very diverse. When it comes to the parity between like male and female employee, as of now, 32.9% of our employee are female employees, and we have 20% of them having a managerial role. And 30% of them being director. So right now we've been tackling a lot of challenge when it comes to women hiring. We also made some events as well, like such as hackathon, because we feel like everybody can. We want everybody to showcase their skills, and we're doing our best to have more equal, percentage of male and female within the employee. As it says here, the percentage of male employee who are taking a childcare leave is 91.4%. This is a percentage that is very, very high, especially in Japan, because most of the time men do not take childcare leave. So we are actually very proud of this number, and we do encourage any of our employee to take a childcare leave, whatever their gender, but also, of course, most particularly male employee. Also, one of our latest action when it comes to IND is to make an adjustment on an unexplained pay gap. So we were able to move from 2.5% unexplained gap of salary between the male and female employee to 7%. Okay, so our office is located in Japan, and for the people who are interested to come for an internship with us, the internship will be in Japan. So I'm going to share with you what the company can support you to come here and do your internship with us. But just a little idea, our Japan office is located in Roppongi in Tokyo. So it is in the heart of Tokyo. And Roppongi is a very big international city and hub, especially for global businesses and tech startup. So, for example, our office is located in a big tower called Roppongi Hills. And we are sharing the offices with companies such as Apple, Google, Goldman Sachs, Barclay, most of like very big global businesses. Okay, so I guess this is the most important part of this session. So I will be giving you a little bit more idea about what kind of opportunity we have for our internship at Mercari and what we can support you with. So right now we are having available position for backend engineer, mobile, iOS or Android engineers, machine learning engineer, platform engineer, and security engineers. For the perk. I'm going to give you a bit more details, but we are going to support your visa sponsorship to come to Japan for your internship, and we'll also of course support your round trip flight from your country to Japan and accommodation. The internship period for global student is 2 months, and we are requesting you to come, whether if this internship is part of your credits at university or during your school holidays. So, oh yeah, sorry. The only big requirement for us is like, of course, for you to be able to be in Japan during the internship period. So again, so this is like the relocation package. So please have a look carefully about this, because this is a mix of the relocation package that we offer for full-time employee, but also internship. So as I mentioned today, we will be supporting the work visa, the COE, and or flight ticket, so economy flight ticket from your home country to Tokyo, but also from your home to your airport, and from the airport to your temporary accommodation in Japan. um, it's going to be arranged and paid directly by Mercari, so you don't have to, provide money in advance. We'll have a relocation team dedicated to take care of all of this once you accept or offer. So relocation expense, it is not really related to internship, but when it comes to the accommodation for the interns, we will provide you an accommodation for the entire duration of your internship. Usually, our accommodation are close to the office, so you can get to the office within like 30 minutes. And this will be also again arranged and paid directly by Mercari. Um, so you don't need to um, be worried about this, because everything will be taken care for us. And then, as I said earlier, for miscellaneous expenses, the fee to the airport to your home country, fee to your apartment from airport in Japan, and for internship, of course, we're very sorry, but we cannot um, support the visa or have your family coming with you. So this is relocation package will be only for yourself only. Okay, so it was a pretty big, long presentation. So I'm going to answer to the Q&A for about 30 minutes. So I can see that we have already a few questions. So please write your question on the chat box. I also have a list of the questions that have been asked on our survey before. So I'm going to answer to a mix of it. So, okay. So first, let's start. Let me drag a little bit and check the question. I think somebody is mentioning like DHJ, DG. It says it will be great if there is also a full stack developer position. So I'm very sorry, but in Mercari, we don't really have like full stack position for internship. It's whether a pure front end position or back end position or platform. Unfortunately, we do not have the full stack position. Uh, I would like to answer a question from Veishu. So student who already applied this year can apply in this. Yes, so we just have a cooldown period of 3 months. So you can apply again if your previous application is more than 3 months ago. Right. Okay, so I'm going to go to the next question. I have a question. Okay, so from Ujiwal Mishra. So I have a question. I have applied to the SDE intern position at Mercari, but I haven't got a workable mail confirming my submission. How can I keep track of my application? So this is a good question. I think you're not the only one asking me for this. I think there is two options. So one option is like there was a bug on our system, but this is quite rare. And the second option is like actually if you have applied already, especially 3 months, less than 3 months ago, this might be um, one of the reason why, because we have a cooldown period. But I actually figured out that a lot of time whenever the candidate apply and didn't get the confirmation of your submission, is because they have already applied less than 3 or 6 months ago, or they made a mistake in the mail address. So please try to apply again. And if you cannot, if you don't really receive any submission, feel free to reach out to us on our website. Okay, next question. So, a question from Irish Wyatt. So, what level of English and Japanese proficiency should we aim for whenever we apply to this internship? So, this is a great question. So, for engineer, our main language is English. So, Japanese is actually not a requirement for this. Of course, if you know some Japanese, that's very good. It might, open you a little bit more doors when it comes to like the teams. But for this, Japanese is not required. Only English is fine. So yeah, I hope it answered your question. Next question is from Divya. So, what is the application procedure, and are there any tests? So, yes, they are tests, skill tests. It depends on the position. For example, for software engineer role, like backend, front end, machine learning. Not machine learning, just backend, front end, mobile platform. The first test is a HackerRank test. For this, we need you to have at least more than 70% of passing through rate in order to move on to the next step. For machine learning, depending on your background, depending on the position, we have a specific machine learning test, which is usually related like OCR test. Then I'm going to move on to the next question, which is a continuity of the previous questions. What is the selection process for this role? So again, it's going to be one test, one skill test, HackerRank or machine learning test. And then there will be doc screening from our engineering manager. If the engineering manager is interested to have you for an interview, we will move on to the a technical interview with one of our member, like engineer. And then the second interview will be an interview with engineering manager. Then the offer stage. So in total, there is one test, one doc screen by engineering manager, and one one engineering manager, and sorry, one one interview by IC, and final interview with engineering manager. So two interviews in total. Okay, and then offer stage. Okay, so from SARTAC, students who already applied this year for internship can apply again in this. So if you already have an internship with us, I guess no. But if you have applied for an internship and you didn't get selected and you want to apply again, we usually have a cool down period of 3 months, so you can reapply after. What is the timeline that you guys will be reviewing applications for interns? So when it comes to the timeline, it really depends on our capacity needs of our team. But in average, it takes a month or months and a half in order to have you doing the skill test, all the reviews, and then the interviews. So yeah, probably about a month or a month and a half. Do we need to show ILTS? So no, we don't request you to have ILTS. I think we will, mostly judge your English skills during the interview. And again, like English skills doesn't need to be like native or anything. As long as we understand what you're talking about, it should be okay. And of course, that you're able to have a technical discussion in English should be fine as well. Okay, so are you only hiring for internship position, no full-time position? So we do hire for full-time position, but usually those are for mid-career people. So people who already have 5 years of work experience. But when it comes to full-time position, like for new graduates, we do hire full-time position, but it really depends. We do proceed only at this moment. We do proceed only hiring like full-time position throughout some of very specific events that we do once or twice a year. Uh, Someone who is in Japan can also apply. Of course, if you are yugakse, like a foreign students in Japan, please, yeah, do apply. If your university is allows you to do an internship, yes, you're more than welcome to apply to our internship positions. Um, okay, so can we apply for both internship and new grad full-time position? So again, I'm very sorry, we don't really have any full-time position open on our website. So I'm afraid you cannot, I would say, apply for full time unless you are part of our very specific events, such as like our IIT career fair. But if we offer you for a full time position, it means that you don't need to, go through the internship route. But yes, if you haven't, applied for from IIT for FTE, you can of course come for an internship. Uh, okay, so okay, how many round of interviews? So as I said earlier, there will be two interviews. So one with our IC engineer, which is mostly technical, and the other one with our engineering manager, which is going to be mostly related like to the culture fit of the company and your motivation to come to Japan for an internship. Is this applicable for working professional? So unfortunately for the internship, no. Internships are mostly um, for students, especially who will graduate in 2026 or end of 2025. So I'm afraid, unfortunately for our internship, this is only for like students who are going to graduate next year. Okay. So, what are the type of soft skills that you're looking for in an applicant, and that could help them adjust easily to the work environment? So that's a very good question. So when it comes to our soft skills that we usually care about, so as I said earlier, Well, culture fit is very important, and somebody who embody Mercari values are very important. So when it comes to the soft skill, we'll be mostly looking at those. Like if you're able to demonstrate that you are a person who are sharing, Mercari values, so go bold, all for one, and be a pro. Then this is what something that we will most likely, be very happy with. So if you are interested about our culture, I'm going to pass on the chat box or culture doc, which is on our Mercari careers. So you can have a look at it, and so it make you understand a little bit more about, you know, how how much we care about the culture, and how is in general the culture in Mercari. So first, yes, soft skills will be, I mean, the most important will be the culture when it comes to the soft skill. Like, are you able to go bold? Are you able to be a pro? Are you able to work as a team and embody all for one? So for example, like if you can add on your resume, that you've been working on any like team project, that you did some, internship or project earlier that made you, if you have like any episode that where you had to go bold, it's always great to emphasize this on your resume, so that we can understand like, oh, this candidate actually can go bold, and this candidate is at ease working in a team, and that fits our value. Right. Okay. So we have a message from Lynn Lat. So I don't have any degree, but I have a certificate called FE and a certificate GLPT N4. Can I try this intern? I quit my university because of the crisis of Myanmar. I'm very sorry to hear this about what's going on in your country. Unfortunately, for when it comes to the internship, um, you know, right now we're moving forward only with like university students, um, and it's going to be hard for us to move forward. And if we could, we would do it, but it's more like on the immigration perspective in Japan. It is usually hard to get close to impossible for new grads to get, for example, a working visa after they graduate without the university degree. So for this case, unfortunately, it's going to be hard to proceed. If we could, of course, we will do. But when it comes to Japanese immigration, it's a bit complicated to move forward with the visa for an internship if you're not enrolled in any university, and also hard for us to move forward with a work visa after. Because we, in order to qualify for working visa, we need you to have a bachelor degree minimum, or 10 years of experience of working as an engineer or any position you're feeling to apply to. So I hope it answered your question. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I think this is a question we often get to. So, hello, I have another question in addition to the one I sent them on the forum. Is it possible to do an internship in two position? Unfortunately, no, you cannot do an internship in two position. If you come with us for an internship, it's going to be whether, an engineering position, such as like front end, back end, um, mobile, or machine learning, but it cannot be two separated position. However, sometimes there are like patterns where, let's say, you apply for a mobile position, and then we see on your resume that you do have like some project related to front end experience, then we might also consider you for front end instead of mobile. So it's case by case. But when it comes to coming to Japan and do an internship, it is we don't provide like internship opportunity for two positions. um, okay. So when we will have the online assessment? So the online assessment will be sent based on the talk screening from our TEA. right after you apply to the position. So you will most likely get the online assignment probably maybe a few days after you apply to the position. Okay. Um, So when is the deadline of the intern application for machine learning? So we don't have any specific deadline. Or internship openings are usually open all year round. We're quite a flexible company, especially because we hire a lot of students from abroad. And like the university academic schedule tends to be very different with the Japanese one. So we don't have any specific deadline. However, we need you to apply before you graduate, because we need you to enroll the internship a few months before your graduation, so that we can, if the internship goes well and we decide to have you hired as a full-time employee after your internship, we'll need you to go back home to graduate and then apply for your work visa to come as a full-time employee. So I'm going to to this let you know a bit more about this first. So basically, like, I think I haven't seen that question, but the what you can get from this internship at Mercari um, is actually a key to join us as a full-time employee. Basically, you come for 2 months to do the internship, and based on your internship performance, our engineering manager will decide if we move on to a full-time employee hiring process or not. So basically, after your internship, we'll need you to go back home, and then if the team and the engineering manager is happy with your performance, we will invite you to the full-time selection hiring process. The full-time selection hiring process will be 2 interviews, one with another EM and another one with one of our engineering director, and then the offer stage. If you make it to the offer for the full-time employee selection, then we also provide you a visa and to come work as a full-time employee after you graduate. So usually for people who are graduating outside of Japan, they usually start like in October 1st. So basically, as an example, on average student that come, doing their internship here in Mercari, let's say they start their internship um, February 1st until March 30th. Then they go back home. Then let's say the second week after they go home, we invite them for the full-time selection process. And then within 3 weeks, they are usually able to clear the whole interview process. Then in April or May, we offered them as a full-time employee. And then if they accept, then from May to when they join, we will prepare everything for them to relocate to Japan, and start as a full-time employee from October 1st. So this is the very standard and basic road to the full-time selection process here at Mercari after your internship. Okay. Okay, so let's get a little bit more technical. So what are the language used for backend? So this is a good question. So for backend, we use mostly Golang. For front end, it is usually like React, JavaScript, TypeScript. For mobile, it's going to be, for example, iOS, Swift UI, and C Sharp. And then for Android, it's going to be mostly Kotlin, and Jetpack Compose as well. So I'm going to share with you what tech stack we use here at Mercari on the chat box, so you can have a better idea about what kind of technology are mostly used by our engineers here. Okay. Um, I'm going to go to the next question. So I have a question from Araki. So interview process is online or offline? So at Mercari, like 100% of our interview process are done offline. Oh, sorry, online. Excuse me, online. So everything will be done on Google Meet. So we'll invite you through email to clear an interview through Google Meet. So it's 100% online, wherever you are, like in Japan or also abroad. Um, okay, so do I need work experience? So for pretending to the internship, you don't need to have work experience because internship opportunities are maybe for students. But it's always good to have a previous internship experience. So to be very honest with you, most of the candidates that do pass the engineering manager doc screen, most of them they have internship experience. Of course, they're case by case. For example, some candidates who have a lot of like projects, like team project, they don't really have internship experience, but they do have like team projects, or they were able to you know do things related to the engineering, like for example make some project related to backend as a team in their university, or like outside of their university, or for example participating in a hackathon, being winning hackathon, like a lot of it's usually case by case. So no, you don't need work experience in order to proceed with the internship. However, it's always easier to pass the doc screen if you do have an internship experience. Um, okay. So if we have not got the assessment after 2 weeks, does this mean that we are rejected? Not really, actually. We receive a lot of application every day. So it takes time for us to review all the people who apply. So it doesn't mean that you are rejected if we are not sending you the assessment after 2 weeks. Whenever the only way to for us to let you know that you're rejected is whenever we send you a rejection email. So no, it doesn't mean that you're rejected. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so this is a great question from Hilarious Jeremiah. So, are there any good tips for you to be a good candidate? Will you evaluate other than academic background and GitHub profile additionally when it's the deadline for this program? So, good tips to be a good candidate. That's a good question. So, I would say again, like what I said earlier. Um, the first thing that we see from you guys is your resume. Sometimes it's really hard to make a decision because we're like sometimes making like missing more like some details as well. But I would say like tips to be a good candidate is like to put everything that is related to our values. If you have any episode of experience that are related to our values, that shows that you are interested, for example, to live in Japan, or I mean to come for an internship in Japan, or for like we are a marketplace, like like a global marketplace. So anything that shows that you're interested in our business or the field that we are in, it's always good to add. um for example, like when it comes to academic background, I think we don't, of course, like they're like good, university, I don't want to say good, but like universities that are ranked higher than other. Personally, like I don't really judge only by the name of your university, or like I sometimes watch GPA, but this is not, for example, like if I have this candidate from coming from that university, or having that GPA, this is not going to be the deal breaker. If that makes sense. What I'm usually looking at to spot like good candidate is people who have like interviews, sorry, internship, um, people who have like matching tech stacks with us, or if they don't, like close tech stacks that we are working with. People who, of course, GitHub, like mentioning GitHub is very good. I personally do not really, look at GitHub because I'm not engineer, but I know that some of our engineering manager do look at GitHub. So it's always good to, have a few contribution on GitHub and appealing them on your resume. Um, but yeah, when it comes to academic background, like as long as you are a university student preparing for a bachelor degree, I think this is all you need to be qualified for moving forward. I hope it answered your question. And for the deadline, as I said earlier, like we do hire internship the whole year, so there is no specific deadline. But you know, one of the requirement is to graduate next year, um, like 2026 or like late 2025. This is those are the main requirement. But when it comes to applying for the internship, there is, we do hire interns all year round. So I hope it does answer your question. Okay. um, okay, is there any front end position for your internship? Yes, we do hire for front end, so feel free to apply if you're interested for enrolling in the front end internship. Okay, so we have about 9 minutes left. So I'm going to pick up maybe five, six questions because maybe, yeah, five, because I would like to share with you also, our application page. So yeah, let's go with the last question. Okay. So let me pick up question that might be interesting for everybody. So, okay. Okay, so I'm my 2024 pass out and currently doing internship at service-based company. Am I eligible for this? Sorry, I'm not really sure what 2024 pass out mean, but if you mean that you graduated in 2024, unfortunately, um, for this time we are targeting people who are graduating in late 2025 or 26. So unfortunately, might not be eligible for this internship program. Very sorry about this. Okay. Are we expected to be proficient or self-teach the tool and language we might use? So, for example, just a simple example, like if you are applying for backend, um, we don't ask you to be proficient, like to be proficient at Golang or any tech stack that we use, but at least for internship, we will request you to be um, a minimum knowledgeable for this and be able to answer like basic questions related to that language, or like computer science question. But no, you're not expected to be proficient for the language that you will be using during your internship. Okay, how long is the internship duration? So for students that are located outside of Japan, the students that will be coming for the internship, it's going to be for only 2 months. It's going to be, you will be expected to work in the office for 2 months as a full time, 40 hours per week. As an intern. For people who are located in Japan, it really depends, of course, of your academic schedule. But we have, like, you can still do 2 months internship like full time, if your school allows you to, and if your school like if you can do it like during your school holidays, or it's going to be 3 months of 28 hours per week. um, for people who are located in Japan. And the reason why is because most of like people, um, like global students that come to study in Japan cannot work that more 28 hours a week due to the immigration regulation. So for this case, it's going to be usually 3 months, 20 hours a week, unless you are in your holiday, like school holiday, and that your school is closed. Okay. um, okay, let me just pick up maybe one or two more questions. Okay, so does Mercari offer a winter internship, and during which months will this internship be carried out? So yes, we do offer a winter internship. So for example, if you are graduating, let's say 2026 May, you can still come to Japan for your internship during like for example November 1st to December 31st, or like January 1st to February, the end of February. Yes, this is totally doable. But for this year, like winter, it's going to be a little bit complicated because we request a minimum of 3 months um, to prepare for your visa. If it will be only on our side, we'll be happy for you to come next month. But the thing is, like, we need to request for your visa, and it takes like minimum like 2 to 3 months. So it might be a bit complicated to have you join this winter. But for next winter, yes, of course, you're totally welcome to apply. And if you get selected, come for the internship during the winter. Um, okay, this is a good question. Is this okay if the internship isn't directly followed by graduation um, and full-time join application to Mercari? So yes, it is fine, of course. It depends. Like for example, you can come if you graduate, like let's say 2026, you can still come next year 2025 to do your internship. So yes, that's totally doable. Okay. So I think this is it for the question because we're running on time. So I will be sharing the QR code. Please scan this QR code to have access to your page. I'll give like 1 minute. 1 minute, or if you need more time, please let us know. And yes, so feel free to apply to the software engineer role. And of course, we're looking forward to receive your application. I think some people ask me to share like socials. So I guess maybe LinkedIn. So I do think my LinkedIn is this. So feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. Sorry, I get so many connection requests every day and so many messages from students. So I might not be very active on answering like, straight away. But I'll do my best to, connect to anybody. But please note, like, understand that I do get a lot of message every day, so I might not be able to answer everybody in a timely manner. So I really apologize about this. Okay, right. Okay, so I guess we will do the closing. So thank you everybody for coming here to this little presentation. I hope I could answer, I mean, as much as question as I could, and that I could make you have a better idea about what is it to come for an internship in Mercari and how is the recruitment process. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn, and yeah, we're looking forward to receive all of your application and start the interview process. Thank you everybody, have a great day or night. Here in Japan it's like already 7 p.m, so I guess it's night. But wherever you are, I wish you a very good end of the week and a very good day. Thank you everyone.